is one of the most interesting teams in this division right now. It's the Minnesota Vikings. If you remember by week 2 when they lost to the Philadelphia Eagles, they were saying, oh, Kirk Cousins is going to throw for 7,900 yards. Justin Jefferson's going to get 3,000 receiving yards because they couldn't just end up closing out a game for their life. They really couldn't. And here we are here. Kirk Cousins, he's a dirty bird. He leaves there, and I had to choose this photo because, well, the biggest question mark on the Vikings is who is playing under center to start week 1.
That one right there.
I like that one. That one.
That
this
one.
I don't know who's going to start week 1, but they have still a really good roster on this team. Let's see. Let's do this. All right. I don't really have much of a preview for this besides, Kirk blowing out his Achilles and the quarterback carousel continuing there. But yes, this is the most interesting team, I think, in the NFC North right now. Because who is starting at quarterback?
Side note, I think this is one of the most interesting divisions in the NFL.
I a billion% agree with that.
Well, that's why I picked this to start it out. Because I'm like, I want something interesting.
Hell yeah.
And why not? And we failed to mention, the Hard Knocks thing for the Bears. But, who cares about that?
The Giants is an interesting one because it shows how screwed up they are.
So
yeah, continue.
They signed Sam Darnold from the 49ers, give him a 1-year deal. They draft J.J. McCarthy, trading up a spot from the Jets because the Broncos were going to jump over him, and then this and that, and then, that makes me SpongeBob. You still have Nick Mullins on the team who, hey, even though he's a backup, he comes in, he still puts up a lot of great games, and then you got Jaron Hall, and, I don't really have much in Jaron Hall. BYU guy. But yes, the rest of the offense, though, you still have a top 3 receiving duo with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. You have Hockenson, who we are not sure if he's going to be playing week 1, coming off of a massive knee injury against the Lions, blowing out his ACL and MCL on a low hit. They steal Aaron Jones from the Packers, who signed Josh Jacobs, and it was the greatest running back room in history for about an hour until they cut Aaron Jones. And they still have a really good offensive line, anchored by Darisaw and O'Neal, as well as, Garrett Bradbury, Dalton Reisner, and their depth there is just phenomenal. That's the question mark here is who's starting under center?
Well, the fact that McCarthy didn't outright win the job is concerning.
He has to go over hurdles and stuff before they can give him the job.
But
which he's not going to sign his deal because he needs a fully guaranteed deal or whatever. He needs something like that.
It's concerning because we all know it's the unspoken thing about his college career is he was a handoff machine. Just
give me Aaron Jones stock in fantasy.
I'm gonna disagree with that. I'm gonna that machine
statement
that machine on JJ McCarthy stuff because I'm gonna be his only defender here. Go blue, just in case you're wondering. National champ. Ring me. Anyway, this team is interesting. Hey, guys, let's all be serious here. The Steelers did the same nonsense with Pickett and Mitch Trubisky. So, sorry, some teams just have that thing where you got to earn it. They're not going to give the rookie the job.
And now,
since they signed Sam Darnold. So, that's what they're going to do. I mean, he's probably going to be starting by week 3 or 4. They're going to see, okay, Darnold's not anything special. Draft McCarthy. Is he ready to roll? He's ready to roll. And we're going to see that. So my only concern is with this team is can Jordan Addison stop drinking? Stop drinking, Jordan Addison. I think this is his second DUI. Stop drinking, please. And then he posted on Instagram like 2 days later, he's out somewhere by himself drinking. Just stop. Stop, Jordan Addison. Holy God, you idiot. But yeah, I'm excited to watch J.J. McCarthy. I thought if he was going to land somewhere, this was the place that he was going to have success. He has 2 very, very good wide receivers. He's got 2 very good tight ends. We haven't even talked about Josh Oliver being signed from Baltimore. He was really good when Mark Andrews, right? Am I correct on that? Is that the guy that covered him?
No. Isaiah Oliver is.
I lied. So, no. We're just talking T.J. Hawkinson.
Josh Oliver is a part of that 19 tight end set that we used to run.
Well, they're both Olivers, so that's why I confused myself there. Because he was great when Mark Andrews went down. I'm like, oh, no way the Ravens let this idiot go.
Oh, and they still have they got Robert Tonyan and N'Keal Harry in the tight end room too. Like
N'Keal Harry tight end room is hilarious.
That's just the most. That's like Kelvin Benjamin, bro.
He's a
That's-
Popeye. He ate his Popeye's biscuits. He's there. He's in the tight end room.
That's so Kelvin Benjamin. It's not even funny. My thing with this is past Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and TJ Hawkinson, the drop off is like enormous.
Brandon Powell's really good. Trent Sherfield's really good.
They're not. It's just those aren't.
I shouldn't say real good as like, oh, they're like number one receivers. Like they're good.
No, but like if a guy goes down, none of those guys are a number 2 in the NFL.
I don't even think they're outside guys. Period.
You got N'Keal Harry.
I say no offense. So a lot of teams that are like that. They have 2 legit wide receivers.
Yeah.
God, they don't go down. That's kind of what it is.
100%. But like, if that does happen, now you have potentially a rookie quarterback set up with a bad situation where it's like they have 2 guys. Justin Jefferson's not being thrown to by a super accurate passer like Kirk Cousins who can manage a game and stuff. Like I don't think.
Whoa! Watch your mouth here. See, this is where I'm going to hit the cap button.
I'm
gonna have a certified cap button for JJ McCarthy.
It's not.
The guy's completion percentage. He's one of the most accurate quarterbacks in college football.
I'm
Sorry,
interested in seeing how Sam Darnold's going to do, okay? But, I'm the biggest Sam Darnold fanboy of all time.
You are, for no reason. I'm going to be the biggest J.J. McCarthy defender. Nonsense around here. Say I'm already gotten dumb. Oh, not an accurate. He's one of the most accurate quarterbacks in college last year. I don't want to hear it. He's clearly thrown the 2 way better wide receivers than he ever had at Michigan, in case you're wondering. Roman Wilson, love him. Go blue. Same thing with Cornelius Johnson. They don't sniff Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison's jockstrap. Stop it. God almighty. People, that's the part that drove me nuts to this whole thing. Oh, McCarthy, he's a handoff machine. Their line was great. The running backs are good. And sorry to tell you, he's athletic as hell, and he has an arm. I don't know what to tell you. He's going to succeed in Minnesota. Sorry to tell you. God almighty. Give me the defense, please.
You can't say it's not a step back from Kirk for Justin Jefferson, though. That's the whole thing for me.
Well, Kirk wouldn't sign there for, what?
No, I'm just saying.
Money if
we're also talking about the same franchise that drafted a freaking quarterback with Kirk Cousins. You tell me what they really think about Kirk Cousins. Thank you. We'll get to the NFC South at some point, Dom.
We never
talking with the Kirk Cousins.
The Falcons are smart.
Oh, I'm not doing this. It'll be a different team this year, I promise. But I do like Aaron Jones and Ty Chandler. I like that being there. It's just like what we just said for the Bears, or what I just said for the Bears. You have a potential rookie quarterback situation. You need to have running backs. You need to have some other portion of your game to fall back on.
And O'Connell is such a great offensive-minded coach too. Like, I don't know. Like it's. Yeah.
I like the running backs. I like CJ Ham's great. It's TJ Hawkinson's good. There's some dynamic part to this offense where it's not going to always absolutely rely on a rookie quarterback, and that's what you need. That's a good thing. You have a good head coach. It's not the Bears situation, so there's that. But it's not bad. It's tough to compare to last year or years with Kirk, I think, but it's not bad.
As we go to the defensive side of the football, I have to make mention that, it's unfortunate seeing that their 4th-round pick out of Oregon, Kyrie Jackson, unfortunately passed away on July 6th in a weird drunk driving accident where he was hit with 2 of his former high school buddies. And Jordan Addison, he mentioned he was going to be a star in this league. He was going to be a star, and unfortunately, at 22 years old, him and his 2 high school teammates, one went to Maryland. I think another one also went, somewhere in the Big Ten as well. It's so unfortunate that someone that young had their life taken away from them because someone made a very stupid decision. So
that's drunk driving in a nutshell right there. It is unfortunate.
If you need a ride, get a ride.
There you go.
That's all I gotta say. But now shifting back into this defense, though, where they were really bad last year, they've made up a lot, adding Jonathan Grenard from the Texans, Andrew Van Ginkel from the Dolphins, Jihad Ward, who tried to start a fight with Aaron Rodgers in the preseason, Jerry Tillery, Blake Cashman, Gruger Hill, Shaquille Griffin, and you still have Byron Murphy, Cameron Bynum, Harrison Smith. They got a lot of good pieces on this defense, and I know it's not going to be a last-place defense as it was a year ago after they had to let go of a lot of people due to cap casualties and all that stuff. drawing a blank on the linebacker that they had, but Ivan Pace, he's going to step up into a much larger role this year. He was great as a rookie last year.
Are you talking about Daniil Hunter?
Well, no, they had another one. Eric Hendricks.
Yeah, Eric Hendricks, yeah.
I'll say Daniil Hunter is a big loss.
Yeah,
That's
fun
why they
fact.
signed 4 linebackers to replace his workload.
Fun fact. Camus Grugier-Hill once played kicker for a game.
That has to be.
I believe they
right
actually
in
made
my
an
head.
extra point.
In an NFL game, or is this a college game?
No, for the Eagles. The year they won the Super Bowl against the Cowboys.
You know, because I only remember Eric Reed. He did that a lot. He was with like the Texans and the Chiefs.
I like this defense. It's more filled out. It's not like the star-studded defense, yeah, but like this is much more of a filled out defense where it's like, all right, you have dudes, you have a full team on the field that can play NFL football, and like you could put this together on defense. We could have some guys stand out. Like this is definitely a better defense than last year, like Will said. So I mean that's good. I don't think it'll be a last place defense, like Will said as well.
It's still not good.
No, it's still not like
Yeah, I'm definitely countering Dom on this one.
that much.
This is like the exact opposite of Bears.
Like I don't know if it's going to be like a top 16 defense, but I don't think it's going to be a bottom.
It's going to be a middle of the road defense. It's not a bad defense. Like this
You guys
defense
are
should be
hyping
good.
this up. Guys, I know it's the first show back, but God,
I said it's not going to be a top 16 defense. It's not going to be a top 16 defense.
Probably won't
Well,
five.
if it's not a top 16 defense, that means their defense blows. So this defense, I don't think it's going to be that good.
No,
You have aging Harrison Smith. They lost one of the best passers in football in Daniil Hunter. And sure, I like Andrew Van Ginkel from Miami. He was very good for the Dolphins. But let's also not act like they just brought in a 12
We also have
sack
Dallas
guy
Turner
like they
too.
had.
So now you have like 7 linebackers you added to this team.
I mean, I think you're overreacting.
One of the most underrated pass rushers in football. If you look at the stats, he's up there with some of the best. Like he's top 5 pass rusher in football stats. So you lose that, that's hard to replace there. So I don't love what they've done. Yes, it's a little more evened out. They put money in other places, but yeah, I also don't love that you lost one of the best pass rushers in football. So I think that's definitely huge. That's what gets paid in the NFL. It's corners and pass rushers, and you lost one of the best pass rushers in football. So again, I think this defense is going to struggle. It's probably one of the worst defenses in this division. I think it probably is the worst when you look at it on paper. But yeah, I don't know. For me, I think it comes down to since we're getting around that portion here, Will's going to ask what's going to make this a successful season for these teams. It's seeing the development of J.J. McCarthy. I think that's what's interesting with this division. You have a bunch of quarterback changes in this division. So for me, this defense, not exciting. I don't think it's going to be great. I think it comes down to the quarterback. How does J.J. McCarthy take that step from Mr. Handoff Machine, as people like to call him, to the NFL with 2 legitimate receivers? So if he can make that step, that's a successful season for the Minnesota Vikings.
I think you're drawing a blank on how is Sam Darnold going to win the MVP this year. He's chucking 56 tutties.
Oh my God!
I think you also you can say a little bit more than 2 legitimate receivers. You could also throw Hawkinson in there too. He's a good
But
type.
is Hawkinson going to play? Like that's the thing.
Well,
Like, he's not going to be himself this year.
At least a couple games. Like there's no way he starts.
He's not even going to be himself because it takes like that 18-month period to be like fully like recovered from ACL surgery. I know Dom, you can attest to it.
No, that was meniscus. That's different than ACL.
Yeah, no.
Meniscus is much longer, much worse than ACL. ACL could be something that look at Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey took 8 weeks last year.
He had to like trim it though. He wasn't getting like.
Oh no, that was meniscus too. That was ACL and meniscus. So that was worse than Hawkinson's. So that ACL could be ACL is not like a full major thing. I mean, Nick Chubb's out here lifting like 500 pounds.
800 pounds again.
Yeah, ACL is not a huge deal.
No, ACL is not huge at all. No.
Anymore.
Yeah. But if you saw Nick Chubb's leg, I mean that thing like broke in half. So if he's able to play,
degrees.
I think Hawkinson's going to play a great deal of the season. But I have a hard time saying that this team will be more successful than last year. Just because
I know the quarterback plays the question mark.
Well, no, it's still the defense. Like the defense is not going to stop a paper bag.
Well, I mean, Kirk Cousins was helping them win those games when the defense couldn't really stop a nose.
Exactly.
Now you're losing, 2 wins.
Now you still have the same problem. You still have to put up 35 points a game to win, and now you're trusting Sam Darnold and JJ McCarthy to do it. It's still the same problem: is the defense can't stop a thing.
Yeah, this is probably the last place team in the NFC North here. That's why I said a successful season comes down to JJ McCarthy.
Like,
If he plays well, it's like, okay, like your answer, like, yes, this guy is the guy. That's a successful season. Then you rebuild the defense and try to work it up from there. So, yeah, this team's definitely going to struggle quite a bit.
I have around 6 or 7 wins.
And I think that's being friendly.
I think, the Giants would be one. Maybe they can sneak one with the Rams. I think, the Jaguars and the Titans, you can probably do it. You'll split with the Bears. The Cardinals, you could steal one. And maybe you could shock one of those ones like Falcons, or the Falcons competing for a playoff spot. The Packers in the playoff hunt. The Lions, trying to repeat divisions. Or the Seahawks, contending. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to be the team at the end of the season where they can sneak a win or two from some of these teams that are on the doorstep of the playoffs.
So you're saying there'd be a team that screws themselves from a top 5 pick down to a 10?
Yeah, this is going to be the team.
Yeah, I have this at 5 or 6 wins at most. So I honestly think they lose against the Giants week 1 to start.
I mean, this is the last place team unless the things go wrong with the Bears.
Yeah,
Correct.
I'm good with that.